Hello everyone, Santier here, and today I want to talk about time management versus energy management, or focus, or concentration, or whatever you want to call it. This is something that I've been finding. I suspect that there are people who legitimately struggle with time management. They have a lot going on, and they have the energy for it, but they just can't fit everything in. They have to kind of figure that out. But for me, what I find tends to be a bigger problem is not managing my time. I've got plenty of time to do things in. My problem is is rather on managing my focus and energy and that sort of thing, my motivation. I find that like I said, I have the time to do stuff in, but I don't necessarily have the energy to do it with. Or often I get to the end of the day, and I'm like, oh man, there's so many things I could have done, and right now I'm supposed to go to bed and I have all of the motivation to do all the things, but I didn't have it earlier in the day, and it's just very frustrating for me actually that happens. But I feel like there's so much talk about managing time, and I don't feel like I hear enough about managing energy, managing focus or concentration or attention or willpower or any of those other things that are resources, right? There are resources that we have internally, and different people have different amounts. And I know one of my big issues, actually, and I don't know if this is something that'll apply to you or not, but it's that sort of, I'm going to call it mental inertia, right? It's that little bit of oomph that's needed to get something moving. And that definitely has a huge impact on my ability to get things done. I just find that I might theoretically want to do things, and I might have the time to do things in, but getting that initial, as the saying goes, that initial ball rolling, of getting it started, just requires a little bit more than I have to give at the particular moment. Or the things that get it going are things that I forget to do. For example, the things that, like, when I'm brushing my teeth, tends to be a time where my brain really gets going, and I begin figuring stuff out, and I'm really bad at intentionally putting myself in those states to get my brain going and get my motivation built up. So there's a lot, I think, that I'd love to learn about managing my motivation and managing my energy levels that I just don't know much about yet. And I really would like to have more focus on that. We're not unlimited fonts of willpower and energy and such. And I feel like time gets all the focus. I don't even know if this is a good episode or not, but here we are. So anyway, I guess that's just kind of what I have to say. Just wanting to address something that at least I know is very real for me. Very real struggles of, I want to do all of these different things, and I have time to do them in, but I have so many little psychological barriers that make it difficult. I have that mental inertia. I have other weird things, like how much time, like, do I have something scheduled later in the day that I think is going to kind of press on it? I have a really hard time starting stuff if I know that I have something scheduled coming up later in the day. It's terrible. And yet here it is. It's a problem. So I'd like to potentially get a discussion around some of this stuff. Like, what do you struggle with? Do you have the energy and the drive to be able to do a bunch of things, and you cannot make the time work? Do you overcommit? Do you undercommit? And do you, like me, struggle with having sort of the energy and the capacity for doing all of the things that you'd like to do? Do you find yourself at the end of the day, like I do, being like, why do I have all of the motivation now to do stuff and not the time? And when I have the time, I don't have the motivation. I don't have the energy. It's supremely frustrating, let me tell you. So yeah, tell me what your experience is like. Go ahead and comment below. Take a few moments. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. So, until next time, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.